So we can talk, right or no?
What's going on?
Ah. Well, it's not that much of a surprise. We've done it all the time, and we haven't said anything silly yet, so I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
For anybody in the room there, stop listening to us. Go find something else to do. Go to the restroom, get a drink, get a snack.
In a magazine.
Catchphrase, gentlemen.
Hello.
Is anybody out there?
What's that in Canadian minutes?
Metric. Yeah, be sure to use Canadian language. Say, you're all probably waiting for us to talk about Rag. You know what we're going to do? Not talk about Rag.
Hanging out in the chat already.
Oh, are we live?
What? What do you want? Who are
Hey,
you?
everybody. Who's what? Who said that? Ha! Well, here we go again, brother. So again,
Is it Wednesday
what's happening,
already?
everybody? It's Wednesday, but you know what? It's the best Wednesday because it's the Wednesday that we're on. So again, welcome everyone. Another episode of Get Off My Lawn. It is Wednesday,
Get off
8
my
o'clock.
lawn.
We are on the World Foam Alliance channel. As always, this is a 2-hour talk show where basically Chalo and I basically talk about stuff we want to talk about. We actually have you call in. There will be a phone number. You can call in and ask us questions or make comments, and we'll talk about it. Also, as always, we will be doing a giveaway. This week's giveaway, what's going to happen? It's going to be a custom painted outlaw. It is an outlaw made by Dart Zone, and I will give you the choice of about 4 or 5 different colors, and the winner will get to pick the color. I will paint it up, and I will ship to you. Now, to win, there will be a catchphrase. When the catchphrase is posted in the chat, I'm going to need you to actually copy and paste the comment in the chat, and then the winner will be selected randomly by the end of the show. Also, today we do have our new special guest. Well, yeah, obviously we're not that old of a show, but American Foam, Brad will be joining us, and he'll be joining us actually at the 30-minute mark. So if you're planning just to check in and go away and come back in an hour, you will miss everything. So be sure back at 30 minutes. That's right, all the good stuff. But then also reminder, tomorrow on the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel, we should have an episode of The Range, which should be dropping.
Filmed it today with friends. One of them was all the way from England.
Dude, how cool is that?
The UK. What? Oh, people come here all the time. Did you not know that? I got a maker's space for them.
Dude, you know what? I should come visit there. Wait a minute.
You should. That's a novel idea. We should look into that.
We should look into that. More information on that later. But again, so tomorrow, the latest episode of The Range will be dropping. Again, if you have not registered, go to worldfoamalliance.org. Be sure to register. If you want to know where other people are, we need people to register. So go register there. Also, again, next Wednesday, it's not us because we're every other Wednesday. It will be Foam Zone with Andrew, Dart Sweep, and I think I've covered everything I'm supposed to for right now, but we have a more important question. For most of us in the hobby know what this past weekend was. Some of us made it there. Many of us probably did not. And that was Ragnaroktoberfest. Now, lucky us, I did not make it. However, someone else did. Chalo, who made it? Tell us, Captain Xavier.
A whole bunch of people made it. I made it. Brett was there. Out of Darts. Dr. Flux. Luchathor. Walcom. Gavin Fuzzy. I finally met Gavin Fuzzy. He is a tiny person.
How cool is that? How was he, man?
He was awesome. He gave me a patch. Looks just like my SPF. It's really cool. I'm sure it's in a pants pocket somewhere.
Probably. Well, for the record, between me and you, a lot of people are tiny, so let's not diminish them too much.
True. Tiny compared to me. It was a wonderful event. The expo on Friday was really cool. Got to see all the vendors there. There was a lot of new stuff. Out of Darts had their massive booth, of course. Silver Fox Industries had their massive booth. They were selling stuff, giving stuff away. There were stickers, patches, all kinds of cool stuff. There were vendors I didn't recognize, vendors I did recognize. It was really cool. Walcom was there. He had the Moab that was showing off, which is just an amazing blaster. And then the next day was the Stalking Dead. And it was as awesome as all previous Stalking Deads have been. This one was wonderfully run. It was pirate themed, and I decided rather than trying to go as a serious play HVZ like I usually do, full loadout, organized squads and all of that, I decided, no, I'm taking this one off. This one I'm going full silly pirate. So I had my bandolier full of single-shot pistols. I had 2 single-shot pistols, and I just went to have fun in a silly pirate costume, and it was excellent. I still managed to make it to the final battle, which was baffling. I expected to get taken out way before then. I managed to shoot a single zombie with a single shot pistol, and then I did manage to get several hits on the big boss. And that's the thing that's so amazing about Ragnaroktoberfest. The last 2 that I've been to, they put in a lot of effort to the final boss. So this time it was a Kraken, and they had a big Kraken made out of canvas and tent, and people controlling the tentacle arms and somebody inside the body moving it around, and targets would light up on the Kraken, and you had to shoot the target a certain amount of time. And as you shot it, the little indicator would circle to tell you how many more times you needed to hit it. And then once you managed to hit it, okay, it moved on to the next target, or it moved on to the next phase. And there were 3 phases, and In the meantime, we're getting attacked by waves and waves of zombies and slowly getting whittled down, losing players, people running out of ammo, getting jammed, whatever. And we're seriously low on ammo because ammo attrition is a serious thing at RAG. You are only allowed to use the ammo that is provided, and you have to have collected it over the course of the game. And so it's real easy to run out of ammo, and especially when you're pumping rounds into this Kraken and there's zombie waves coming at you every couple of minutes. They managed to get it down to 18 health, 18 hit points left before the humans finally got overwhelmed and wiped out. It was absolutely amazing.
I was going to
really
say,
well
to
run.
organize something like that is well thought out. That is simply amazing, and nothing I would expect.
Put together, they've actually incorporated foam flinging ink or something like that. So they actually have an LLC that it's run through. They've got a lot of volunteers, a lot of really good people, and so they put on a really good event. And it's humans versus humans versus humans versus zombies. There's 3 human teams that are fighting over resources and trying to get victory points, and then eventually you all end up, once the horde gets big enough, the humans all band together. And the more you fought amongst each other before you finally unify, the more zombies there probably are. So it's very, very likely what would happen in a real zombie apocalypse. And then the tournament the next day was incredible. The teams that fielded, there were just so many amazing teams that were really well organized, really well. They trained together clearly. They had practiced. They had excellent equipment. You got to see some wonderful plays. It was just a delight to actually watch. And again, the technology that they have set up for that is really, really cool, where they have multiple buckets that are all linked together through, I don't know if it's Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or how they're connected, but they talk to each other. They make noise. It knows when all three have been captured by the same team, and it actually will say something, and it tracks how long each bucket was in play. And they had an announcer that was going, plus they had the whole thing live streamed, and while the games were going on, they were bringing in guests, bringing on players or team captains to come talk and YouTubers to come talk. And it was just wonderfully well organized. So
that is definitely something on my list. This year I just had too much going on, but I'm going to make it out next year. But to go back to the team
is definitely
things,
an event. It's, in my opinion, one of the absolute premier Nerf events right now.
I'm in.
It's so well run, and they do all 3 aspects, and they do it really, really well. One thing they're talking about, they got some feedback, is there's a good chance that they will do the competitive before the HVZ.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were really worn out from playing HVZ all day long in 90-degree heat and then had to go compete in the sun. So they decided to switch that around so that people could, if they completely wear themselves out in the competitive play, then they're just a little worn out for HVZ, which is less, detrimental to your performance than being worn out for the competitive play.
See, that's awesome. But I wanted to make the comment on the tournament. So what you're telling me is that if we were to enter a team Mega Double XL, our expectations would be met, where we don't have to advance that first round and we could actually rest instead of being forced to play.
Horrifically wrecked. The way Blaster Tag Association does theirs is very different than the way Maryland Mayhem ran their game. Maryland Mayhem was like 90-second rounds or something?
Yeah. 3 minutes. Was it 3 minutes?
Blaster Tag Association, it's 6-minute rounds. It's 1 6-minute round. And it's not single elimination. It's not like you get tagged and you're out. No, you're tagged and you have to go spawn back in after like 15 seconds or so.
Okay.
And that'll wear you out real quick.
Yeah.
The problem is if they manage to actually wipe your whole team off the field at once, getting back onto the field can be very, very difficult, even for the best teams. If everyone gets eliminated and you don't have anyone on the field, it can be very difficult to get anybody back on the field, because as soon as you jump in, you get shot again from people that are hunkered down behind cover, and you don't have any cover because you're coming in from the sidelines. There were a couple of times like
that in Maryland. I get that, man. That is, you're screwed. You're done.
Yeah. there were some really, really good teams that usually they were the ones that took the field and held it against people trying to get back in. But once you got into like the semifinal rounds, all the teams, if they managed to take you out, it was a hard slog to get back on. One team did actually manage, though. It was actually impressive. The fight for third place was well fought. It was a really close game. And one team was up at first, and then the other team managed to get back in and retake the field and were able to win by the skin of their teeth at the end. And it was just an incredible round to watch.
See, this is amazing.
The
So
final
for anyone
round was
watching,
actually less exciting because one of the teams in the final, they were just, if they managed to take the field, you were not going to take the field back from them. And
wow.
the other team they just couldn't get back onto the field. The other team was too good at holding. So yeah, it was really cool to see. Really, really well run. It ran fairly smoothly. They got a little behind schedule, but they kept things going. And yeah, I'm really hoping that we see more of that. That's the thing is, Maryland Mayhem did their tournament and it was a different style and it was really cool. Blaster Tag Association does their style and it's really cool. We now have Nerf Ball. It's a different style, but it sounds really, really cool. We're finally getting competitive play really starting to take off and getting to that level. That was the thing is I've seen previous competitive tournaments where half the teams were first time ever playing and it was, they didn't have great equipment and they just kind of got stomped by the other team. And while that's fun, they had a good time. Everyone had a good time. It's really cool seeing the professionalism that has started to grow and teams actually getting really good and drilling and having uniforms and strategies and plans. And I like it.
I absolutely love this. And I think the fact that you have different kinds of gameplay all over the place, instead of trying to unifying it, makes it more interesting and diverse. So I think definitely, as you all can tell, you gotta, if it's not on your list, you put Rag on your list and you got to go next year. So whenever that's, keep an eye out for it, whenever it is live, and they know for sure it will be available through the World Foam Alliance. But at this point, I guess we should flash a number. Maybe some people want to ask you about it or make comments. What do you think?
Yeah, let's take a call. We'll take a call. I've talked for a while. I'm currently repairing a blaster.
I'm currently rebooting my laptop because it decided to stop and update.
Good plan. Good plan. All right, let's take a call. Is there a caller? Is there someone there? Who are you? What do you want?
I don't know. I don't know if you can flash the number. Did we flash the number?
Hello?
Who's there?
I don't know what's going on.
Maybe I should pretend. Hello, my name is Al.
You're a geek.
I am, and I wear it proudly. Because let's face it, if you met me in the street, would you definitely call me a geek? No, you'd shy away and go,
sorry, we already have an Al. You're going to have to pick a different name.
You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. Like, come on. I think that's the one best thing about your name. I don't think we're going to find anyone else that has your name.
There was a girl in Michigan that had the same name, same spelling, but I'd be willing to bet she pronounced it differently. There's also a guy, and I want to say like Indonesia, whose first name is Che, and his last name is Lo.
Nice. Although,
but it's
the way
spelled
spell my
the
name,
same way, Chaylo, and then...
See,
and
that's all. Like for me, believe it or not, people have actually have misspelled Al and have actually put ALL. I'm like,
that's
yeah,
all.
That's all, folks. All right,
that's a word.
So again, just a reminder. That's right. So
well,
let's
then
take
get a caller on here. Hello? Flash the number.
Hello.
Take a caller.
Hey, who's this?
Who are you? What do you want?
Am I on?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Who are you?
I am a teammate.
You could be anybody.
You could be so many people.
No, I can't be. I was the one that was getting all of the dart kills at the tournament.
All right, so I will introduce you for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Trey. Trey was clearly our man behind the scenes who I think got 95% of our kills. I think I got one by accident.
Rear, I believe.
Trey, what's shaking, brother? How are you, man?
I was supposedly somebody told me I was supposed to be that gentleman that was a secret weapon. I'm not sure why I got even put in that category.
Compared to the rest of us, come on, man, it's pretty easy.
Well, I thought the funniest part was when you stood there after the first round and stood there with the flag in your hand, like, who else is there to shoot?
What am I supposed to do with this?
I don't understand how this works.
So, do you have a question? What do you want? Why are you?
Well, I was calling trying to see if, being I just got home from soccer with the kids, was trying to find out, are we doing a reboot for the tournament?
Oh, I mean, another.
The Mega XL will return someday.
Oh, no, they're returning that to Maryland Mayhem, dude. They're coming to Maryland Mayhem.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to find out if are we going to have a cheerleader this time, or we're going to have a player in Shiloh there.
I might actually try to take the field next time. I might. We'll see. We will see.
Tell you what, then.
Yeah,
we'll
I
do it
want
this
to see
way.
if there'll be a guest appearance.
Oh no, guess
I will
he's
play.
coming.
I will take the field. I will fire one dart, and then I will leave, and I will say that I participated.
No, actually, that's a good
Well,
question.
I just wanted to make sure.
Go ahead, dude.
I just wanted to make sure I got in. That was my question. Yes.
So then, for those that don't know,
we'll be
Maryland
back.
Mayhem. Yeah, Maryland Mayhem has been declared. They've launched the date. I actually ordered a T-shirt that says the Mayhem will return with the date, and that is next April. And there will be a tournament. And yes, the Mega Double XLs will be returning. It's still early. We may have more than one team. It all depends on interest and a lot of other things. So we're not going to promise that. But the one thing I'm planning is that our team is going to have hockey jerseys. I don't care if the other jerseys are better, blah, blah, blah. We're getting hockey jerseys. And yeah, it's going to say Team Mega Double XL.
I'm okay with this.
Nice.
I like this.
Well, I just wanted to get my chance to get in here and say, get off my lawn.
All right, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn, Trey. Actually, you can come back on my
lawn.
lawn anytime. Get off. Dude, that's awesome. He's a good dude. He's in Maryland, so I run into him all the time.
Sounds like a nerd. I like him.
He is. That's why he fits in with the rest of us. But yeah, dude, Maryland Mayhem. I'm guessing you're coming out for that one.
Oh yeah, I'll be back for that one.
Perfect.
So,
all right. So we go ahead.
I'm repairing a X-Shot long shot. My plunger finally gave out. These things are ridiculously brittle. It's split more than halfway down, and yet it was still hitting 180.
Dude,
FPS
that is key.
With a massive crack. I'm replacing it with this nice black anodized aluminum barrel.
This is smart. All right. Again, reminder everyone.
We got more callers. Let's just go straight to another caller.
1 second.
Oh.
A quick reminder that we're going to have American Foam on. Wait a minute, dude.
Get back to your plunger. That already?
Not yet, but 8:30 we're going to have American Foam on. And again, there will be a giveaway. We will have a statement. The statement you got to copy and paste into the thing, and you can win this week. This episode is going to be a Dart Zone Outlaw that will be custom painted by myself, and I will ship it to you. So yeah, now, next caller.
Hello.
Who are you? What do you want?
Hello. I am calling to ask the question, considering both you and I have just come back from a rather large event. What is your favorite and least favorite part about traveling for events?
First, who are you? What's your name?
I am Boomstick Mods.
I knew that, but I wanted you to say it.
Least favorite. Packing. I don't like packing. Airport security.
Oof.
Hotel water. Hotel water is terrible.
Hotel water. What the?
It's weird, but I mean, you wake up in the middle of the night and you're thirsty, and you go to the hotel thing and you get some water, and it just makes you more thirsty. It's like it's stale water. It's like drinking cardboard. I don't like it.
And this is why my squad had just cases and cases of water that we took with us everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I had it. It just didn't make it into my hotel room. What about you? What's your worst? What do you dislike about traveling?
Based off this past traveling, I would say delayed flights. 14-hour trip home became a 20-hour trip home,
Oh dear Lord,
and that was not
I had a
fun.
2-hour flight home,
dude.
and I got to fly first class. I got upgraded. It was cushy.
You got upgraded. Meanwhile,
What-
Boomstick got left behind.
I'm just surprised I didn't lose my luggage by the end of it.
Hey, that was one thing that happened to me when I traveled to Mall Madness last year. They were asking if anyone was willing to check bags at the gate, and I was foolish enough to check bags at the gate. My bag did not get connected to my did not get transferred to my connecting flight. Luckily, all of my blasters and equipment were in a trunk that did make it all the way, but it meant that my pants did not ever make it to St. Louis. My pants hung out in Dallas for a day and got home before I did.
All right, hold on. Boom.
You needed
Quick,
an
man, before you
Admiral
run out of time.
Akbar in your head going, it's a trap.
You're almost out of time. Boom. What else you got, man? Quick. Who are you? Tell us how people can find you.
Boomstick mods everywhere, YouTube, Instagram, all that. I've just now started posting on TikTok.
Dude, that's
Nice.
awesome. By the way, we're probably going to have you on our show soon.
Awesome.
Get off my lawn.
Ah, that was Neil of Boomstick Mods. For any of you don't, if any of you have
Mods
never
is
talked to him or
awesome.
met him, he is such good people, man. He is actually also my local mechanic that fixes everything that I break, and then I just make stuff for him.
I've got some cool stuff from Boomstick. He's the one who sent me my Spring Thunder, which I never would have gotten on my own, but he decided, no, you must have one, and it showed up.
Absolutely. All right,
And
so we're gonna
the print
have
quality is much better than the actual designer, so it's nice.
So just to remind everyone, we're going to have American Foam on here shortly, but I think we got time for one more caller, and then we're going to go to Brad from American Foam. So, all right, who do we got next? Who do we got?
Hey, it's Carrie. You might have seen me around.
Hey, Carrie, how are you?
My question, good. My question would be, how would you pick those mid-range Springer primaries with so many coming out between like the Seagull, the SDL2, the Unicorn?
What was the question?
So basically mid-range Springers of the new ones coming out, which one do you like?
I like them all. I'm actually a really big fan of the Seagull for the form factor, the amount of power it has, and how comfortable it is. I mean, it's just a slightly more compact Harrier, and the Harrier was amazing. So having a slightly more compact Harrier is just really cool, especially for CQB when you want something a little bit smaller to not give you away.
Based on that, I don't have any of them yet. I do have the Harrier, and as much as I love the Harrier, I'm going to have to blindly say the Seagull. But then again, the reviews I'm getting from everybody is kind of like, it comes down to what's your personal preference, and you can be picky about it. And I guess that's the beauty of where the hobby is right now, is that there are so many variations of so many different blasters that you can almost be picky.
This is true.
What do you think of putting Saber parts into the less expensive blasters like the XSLS?
Well, that's what I'm currently doing right now, so I clearly think it's a decent idea.
I have not yet.
I mean,
So
that's the amazing thing about the dart or the X-Shot long shot is that it is so ridiculously cheap. I mean, it's $30, and for another $30 in parts, you can be hitting 260 FPS easily.
That's true.
I don't know of any other blaster that has that level of performance increase for so low a cost.
And
what about
have
you,
been
Carrie?
Pulled over, like, for me, I have one of each, and it's just hard to pick between what I want to use, so I just bring them all every
It
time.
really is. It's gotten to a point of spoiled for choice is a wonderful place to be. It's a wonderful time to be in this hobby.
gets more exciting every year.
Yeah.
It does. What else? What else you got, Carrie? Do you have any more questions?
End War, has that been overtaken by other hobby events? Like, do you think other hobby events are bigger now?
In my opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Maryland Mayhem is better run. Ragnaroktoberfest is better run. But I haven't been to End War since 2019. Now get off my lawn. We're going to continue talking about this without you.
It is, I think, because we've talked about this before. I think it's not so much like where we're going to come out and say this is better, they're done. I think the best approach and perspective is the fact that because we now have more tournaments and more larger events coming into the field, into the calendar year, and so many of them are just getting better and better run. It's not necessarily that we have to crown a victor, but I think the increased competition is going to basically push events to either like, all right, if we want to be like this, maybe we'll run it that way. So I think now other events are probably running a little bit better, but it doesn't mean that End War is far beyond. So it's I'm kind of looking forward to basically what's actually going to be a result of it. It may even be bigger and better.
Yeah, I don't know that it's been overtaken, but it's definitely been caught up to. Because for years it was the event. There was no other event on that scale. There was nothing else that had, a tournament. There was nothing else that had the expo. Then Ragnaroktoberfest had the expo and started having the tournament. Then Maryland Mayhem had the expo and the tournament. Then Pennsylvania Survival Fest now has all of that as well. It's not that
it was a great event, by the way.
Any of those are better. It's just they're all on the same level now. You have a choice as to which event you go to. And there's now, we've got RAG on the West Coast. All the other ones are on the East Coast, but we now got RAG on the West Coast. And at some point, we do want to try to run an event on that level up here in the Pacific Northwest. We just haven't gotten there yet. But yeah, it's really cool that there are more than just the one event. Because not everyone could make it to End War for scheduling reasons, for travel reasons, for whatever reason. And so the fact that there are more events to go to allows more people to get to them, and it just means that there's more events to go to, which is just really, really cool.
Absolutely.
All right.
So again,
how do you put this thing back together?
Magically. For those joining us, always as a reminder, don't forget to register on the worldfoamalliance.org. If you haven't already, please do so. The key to this is that we need y'all to register. When you register, then people can find you, and it's just register. So again, worldfoamalliance.org. Don't forget to register. Don't forget to like us. Don't forget to sign up to our YouTube channel. The usual stuff. You know what to do. Hit the like button and subscribe. Now, I think at this point, we have changed it up a little bit. So instead of the hour mark, at 30-minute mark, we do have our new guest that's going to be coming on today. Why do we keep saying new? They're always new every week. It's not got the same person. It's like my brain is broken. But our special guest for this week is going to be Brad from American Foam. He will be joining us. He'll do a better introduction than I can. But the one thing I can definitely tell you is that he did attend the latest Jared's Epic Blaster Battle and was there. If you've seen clips of it, he clearly had a great time. So again, before we go to Brad, we will be doing a giveaway also, and then we'll be doing all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. But we'll get to that point. More importantly now, American Foam. Brad, how are you, buddy? Welcome to Get Off My Lawn.
Hey, guys. How's it going? I'm doing great. It's good to be here.
Glad to have you, buddy. So again, so I don't butcher it, tell us a little about you and how people can find you.
Well, I think a good amount of people may know, but for those who don't, some false bravado to start off with there. But those who may not know, I'm American Foam on YouTube, American Foam Nerf on Instagram, and on TikTok, I am Brad the Nerd. So that's a pretty good description, the nerd. So all things Nerf, Star Wars, nerdy stuff, totally into that. But yeah, it's great to be here.
So what you're saying is that you're among the right people, considering, wait, you got Al the Geek over here, and you got Captain Xavier, but some days we can call him Captain Nerd, and he wouldn't flinch.
What are you accusing me of, sir? How dare you? Why, the very idea.
No, I see some familiar names in chat, and I know that we're in pretty good company here tonight. So Should be a good time.
It absolutely is. So I guess then you prefer me to call you Brad as opposed to American Foam?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, because otherwise I will happily call you American Foam. If anything, we can turn you into a Marvel superhero, and it's Mr. American Foam. But you got to get you a cape.
You could if you're gonna go there, we could do Mr. Foam, because every now and then I get one of those emails from someone that wants to review something for one of the Temu kind of products or something, and those emails are addressed to Mr. Foam, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna start going by that. Frankly, that'd be okay.
Have you submitted the paperwork to officially change your name yet?
It's not yet on my driver's license, but one day.
Far more people
Awesome.
in this world know me as Captain Xavier than know me as Chelo. I'm constantly getting people that are surprised to find out that Xavier is not my real name. I always have to crush them in the comments, and I feel like I schmuck. And they go, "Xavier's my name too," and I respond, "Yeah, it's not my real name." Like, oh, like I wish it was. Xavier's a much cooler name. It's got an X in it and everything.
For me, I'm
Let's
glad I went with
start
Albert.
with the preliminaries, sir. How did you get into
Yeah,
Nerf?
there's
How
exactly.
did you end up rubbing elbows with us nerds?
Yeah. So I think it probably all started out at Goodwill, which is there's a lot of good stories that start there, but this one was my particular journey into this sphere of nerddom, which I was thrifting, not necessarily for Nerf stuff, but collectibles, cards, books, videos, records, whatever. And then on the shelf, we saw a Modulus ECS 10, and I thought, holy cow, this is quite a bit more advanced than the Aerostorm, which might have been the last actual Nerf blaster I owned. The year it came out. So I went from
92?
I went from the Aerostorm to the Modulus series, which was a wild jump. So I picked that up, and coincidentally, the gentleman at the Goodwill, he's like, "Oh yeah, it might work, it might not. Hey, do you know about those Nerf YouTube people?" And I'm like, "What the heck is that? That sounds ridiculous." And he pointed me to you, Chelo. He's like,
I've been
"This
ratted
Captain,
out.
this Captain Xavier guy, you got to look this dude up. It is awesome." And so I did, and it's been throwing away money on this hobby ever since. But it's been a great time.
They were mailed to me. You think I pay for gummies? Sorry. Not any gummies delivered. I put them in my... I was given a bag of gummies that I have now put in my bag of gummies. Sorry, you were saying.
Because you like gummies, so we put gummies into gummies.
So I can gummy while I gummy. So they gave you my name, huh?
Yeah, he said, because I thought, this is crazy. And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's a bit different since, back in the day. But, you can make him even more powerful." And I'm like, "Ooh, tell me more." And it just one of the older mod
That's
videos.
how we get you.
Yeah, and ever since I did that first one, I really just kind of fell in love with that. Just the tinkering aspect of the hobby is what hooked me.
Yep.
But more so than that, I think the community aspect of the hobby has been fantastic. Just showing up to my first event with that little dinky 2S. I did skip the 9-volt mods somehow,
Good for
thankfully.
you.
I think that might be because of you, so thank you.
Don't let Anthony hear you.
But I showed up with that first little 2S lipo mod with the Michelle motors, and but everybody was so cool and welcoming, and it was a great time. And I've been doing it, for 5 years now, I think. Yeah.
That's always been what I love the most about the hobby, is that we are unapologetically nerds. We don't care who knows that we're nerds. We don't pretend not to be nerds. And it allows us to just enjoy life more.
We own it and we love it, man. I'm absolutely. So then to play on that then, Brad, so what has been, well, let's go this way. What has been one of your bigger projects that you attempted and have failed miserably?
Well, it eventually got finished. I don't know. Should I tell the story of when I sliced my thumb open? Because it's bloody. It's a bloody
Yes.
tale.
Yes.
Did you or did you not glue yourself back together?
It was pretty wide. So let's go into it. I'm always cool with embarrassing myself a little bit for the sake of others' entertainment.
So are we.
I don't know if it'll show up through the thing if my webcam is fine enough. Maybe not. Oh, kind of see it there a little bit. Anyway, there's this big, horrendous scar. It's about like 2 inches on my thumb. But anyway, I was modding a rival chaos, and I'm not sure if it was like for the Proton pack or if I was just trying to mod it for 3S or whatever. But I got a ton of stuff done. I removed all the internals, and this is pre-Dremel. So I have one of those really sharp hobby knives, and I'm trying to clear out a space for a new micro switch. And it's also like at 11:45 p.m. I'm tired. I can see the finish line right in front of me, and that's usually when you make your most mistakes. So it got stuck. I pulled, and it just slipped right through my thumb on the backside between my knuckles, and I didn't feel anything whatsoever at all, which, I still can't. Spoiler, but I looked down and I saw white, and I saw like connective tissue, and I said, oh no. And I like put my shirt off and wrapped it around there, and had to had to wake up my wife to take me to the hospital at midnight with blood
They
spurting.
like it when you do that.
No, with like blood spurting out like onto my shirt and my shorts, and I'm like, we gotta go now. So 5 hours later, they stitched me up. It's horrendous.
I didn't get that bad. I did slice my thumb with an X-Acto knife while cutting something, and it was deep enough it probably should have gotten stitches, but I didn't want to go to the hospital, which was really lazy because I live less than a block from a hospital because I worked in the hospital. But I couldn't be bothered, so I just super glued myself together and went back to work.
Only.
No, go ahead, dude. Go ahead, Brad.
Still hitting 180.
Oh yeah, I heard the question. Did I cry a little when I cut myself? AJ, you didn't say. Okay, looks like my sibling is in the chat at the moment. And no, sir, watching at home, I did not cry a little bit. You know when I cried? When I got the bill. That's when I cried.
There you go. See, that's why I glued myself together. It was just cheaper.
Oh, if I thought I could pull that off, I would try. Should have went for the Gorilla Tape.
I tell you, man. I've taped parts together, but Nerf I've been spared so far. My closest thing to catastrophe was at an event last year for Nerf's Giving here in Maryland, and we were playing King of the Hill, and I ran in to hit the tube, and everyone turned it into a meme anyways. And I forget that I'm 48, not 28, and of course somehow went into a forward roll, which technically should have broken me a lot more. But here's the sad truth: I am very good at falling because I've been doing it my whole life. So I went into a fabulous roll and was spared, which my wife was happy to hear that she didn't have to take my ass to the emergency room. All right, so at this point, I think maybe we should open we should take a caller because I think people want to talk to Brad. You ready to talk to people? Should we let people call in?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
All right, call in. Feel free to call in, ask a question. And again, if you're calling in, we got Brad on with us. Don't sit there and just start asking Chalo about the gummies he's eating right now. I will kick you off the lawn.
I mean, they do look good.
At a different point. I know they look good and stuff.
Albanese are the best.
There we go.
I've said it. You heard it here, folks.
If you call in, do not ask for gummies. If you do, you are gone. Off my lawn, and not even the polite, it's the boot and the butt off my lawn. Just saying.
All right. Who's there? Are you there? Is there someone there? Hello? Zero color.
I did pull.
Nobody wants to talk to American phone.
Cry. So sad. I did pull
You
that
should.
blaster off the wall. Before we can get onto that, I did pull that blaster off the wall where I did cut myself. And in terms of redemption on that injury, I did paint it accordingly. That ridiculous blood splatter theme for revenge for that, for my several $1,000 bill before we argued it back down to what it should have been.
Oh my God. Which is never fun.
No.
We can
But
have
I was
another
happy with
episode
the way
just about that.
that it came out.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, I think we got a caller. Who do we got? Hello, who are you?
Who are you?
Hey, it's Isaac from the Pacific Northwest. How's it going?
I got some of your
Isaac, pretty
stuff.
good, dude.
You can't have it back. It's mine now.
What's going on, brother? Do you have a question?
Yeah, well, two. When are you going to make it up here to the Pacific Northwest?
What?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, say again. It broke up a little bit.
Hey, Brad, when are you going to get up here to the Pacific Northwest?
When are you
I
going to come visit me?
would love to do that, to visit everybody, since that's the thing. Like, I want to make it out there. The Midwest has a bunch of really interesting small groups. There's like Naptown Nerf and Kane in Cincinnati and Sci-Fi in Pittsburgh. But like, I think a lot of the community is out west, and a very interesting portion of it too. So I do want to make it out there. I was really kind of down that I couldn't make Ragfest, but it's definitely in the books, and hopefully sooner than later, like within the next year or so.
That would be amazing.
You should do it. We throw an excellent party up here.
It really is, yeah. Also, my X-Acto knife horror story
Oh no!
involved I was shaving off like the little rail retention tab on a retaliator barrel so I could use like a pump kit, which was a while ago. But my razor blade snapped and slipped under my safety glasses and got stuck in my eye.
Dude,
Sir?
What?
this is an R-rated
Lucky
stream.
I haven't eaten in a while.
Oh my!
Are you okay now? Do you
Thankfully.
have an eye patch?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't. I just pulled it out. And I was a little bloodshot, but it was fine. Definitely
I love
made
it.
the hair on the back of my neck stand up, though.
Well,
Oh,
here's
yeah.
the best part. So again, what public service announcement, PSA, ladies and gentlemen, iPro. Do not
Apparently
forget
doesn't do you
eye
any good. Why
protection.
bother?
Even at home, or really good iPro.
And cut away from yourselves.
Damn.
Yes, and use good blades that don't.
That don't break.
Anyway.
Oh my.
I got it hitting 235
Out
with
of-
bamboo darts now. Time's up.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Isaac, you still here? If you are, get off my lawn.
Bye.
Thanks, buddy. Awesome. So you know what then, Brad, since you can't make it out to the Pacific Northwest this year, because myself and Maritime Foam are such giving people, what we're going to do is that we've decided we're going to venture out to the Pacific Northwest to scout to see if these people are actually lying to us, to make sure that everything is actually fun, and then we'll report back. So again, Anthony, Maritime Foam, and I are going to be heading out to the Pacific Northwest. It's the weekend before Halloween, and we're going to crash Captain Xavier's place and see what kind of mayhem we can come up with out there.
Well, let's take
Now
another
then.
caller. Apparently they're stacking up.
Let's do it.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Who are you?
Hi,
What do
who's
you want?
this?
This is Vonix.
Never heard
What's
of
going on, Vonix? You got a question?
Yeah, actually. First, I wanted to say I've been longtime fans of all three of you. I show up to almost every event you guys host on YouTube and Facebook and all that, and you bring so much to the hobby, and we really appreciate it, all of us.
Nice to hear.
My question is, with all these events having so many stringent FPS caps, like 125, 150. What is the purpose? Why do we keep? Oh, well, I can get this up to 500 FPS. Why do we do it?
Because we can.
Because we can.
That really is. It's people that like to tinker. They want to see how far they can push it. And some people do run events with no cap. They're not very common. They're typically on private property. They're usually smaller groups. But there are no cap games here in the Pacific Northwest. They just aren't the ones that we talk about. Because they are more dangerous and they're obviously not going to be as kid friendly. They tend to be adult events more. But it's just fun. I built a blaster to see if I could get it over 500 FPS, and I was able to do it. I immediately took the video down. But it's just the joy of tinkering, the joy of engineering, just to see if they can do it. My knees hurt.
Knees. Back.
We have a question in the chat. So in the chat is being old, how do we keep up with the in the HVZs? Part of it is we don't. We kind of just pick the shortest route. You make sure you have younger guys in your group that can run forward. Yes.
Yeah, see, this is why I bring a squad of 30 semi-professional individuals to surround me and keep me from getting tagged so I can just walk inexorably through the field rather than having to run. I did not, at no point in all of RAG, not once, did I ever break into anything faster than a mosey. I never jogged. I never ran. Nothing. I walked RAG and still made it to the final.
I feel like that was purposefully done.
It's an intelligent strategy. The last one I was just wheezing nonstop because I thought I had to be the first one there, and I was terribly wrong.
No, don't wear yourself out. The beautiful thing is the zombies will come to you. You don't need to chase the zombies; they'll come to you. And if it's your time, it's your time. You can run, but you'll just end up a tired zombie, and where's the fun in that?
It is. That's what Maritime Foam and I did at End War. It was just me and him, and we were happy to hang out and walk our pace. And it's like we told everyone, "No, go. We're good." We were heavily armed, and we were happy to bring up the rear.
Did we tell him to get off our lawn?
He's off our lawn.
Is he gone?
Oh wait, you know what we got to do before we take another caller?
What do we got to do?
We need a winning phrase, man. So, Brad, what do you think our winning phrase should be?
I got one. It still hits 180.
Yeah, let's go still 180 cracked tube.
Even with the crack, there we go.
I feel like we should throw in some blood there. Maybe we should put it still hits 180, even though I bled.
Ooh. Got to blend those two themes together.
I got it. I bled for this hobby.
Ooh, that's it. Perfect.
I bled for this hobby. I've bled for this hobby.
For sure.
Bingo.
I'm sure you've bled for this hobby.
I have, and yes. I'm big and clumsy, and I don't care. And yeah, there's been some accidents. Not as bad as yours, but anyways, you got it. That's the catchphrase. I have bled for this hobby. Be sure to post it in the comments. I have bled for this hobby. You don't have to spam us with it. All you got to do is say it once, and it's got to be accurate. Just once, and then when it shows up in the chat, actually, we'll put it for you. You just actually copy and paste it or spell it out. And what's going to happen is near the end of the show, we will randomly select the winner. Brad will help us announce that winner. And what you're going to be winning is a custom Outlaw. It's going to be, I'm going to give you probably about 4 or 5 choices of colors, and then I will paint it up and ship it to you. So again, our catchphrase is, what's our catchphrase?
I have bled for this hobby.
That is a catchphrase. So again, make sure to comment it. And also, if you haven't, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to worldfoamalliance.org. Be sure to register is there as well. Anyways, back to, do we have people calling? Should we answer some questions? All right, let's do a caller.
Take a caller. All right.
Hey there.
I got 4 different kinds of dirt. Who are you? What do you want?
Hey there, this is John again.
John.
So,
Hey, John.
I know most of you guys do a lot of thrifting and have posted thrifting videos. What has been your favorite thrifting find?
We found an Ultimator once.
Ooh, that's nice. Nothing quite that rare. I think my greatest thrifting find is maybe not quite as memorable. I found a few Ravens. As my greatest thrifting fail. Not the question you asked at all, but
Sounds like a much more interesting story.
Before I knew anything about anything, and I'm not sure that I still do, but I thought when I was thrifting, like, oh, if it doesn't have the Nerf logo on it, it's got to be crap. I've learned my lesson since. But I saw what I recognized later as a Power Strike 48. Like that old Air Warriors, was it? Or Air Zone? Yeah. And I knew what it was like a couple months later because I saw somebody else's thrifting video. And I'm just like, so you go back in that foolish, naive hope that it might still be there. That doesn't even like work on the same day, let alone like, the next weekend or something. But I did pass up on a 48 and I've been mad at myself ever since.
Tragic.
Yeah, I'm currently hoping to find a Raven or a Slimfire so I can actually mod them.
They're nice.
I do have one more question.
Sure.
So I'm going to have to start a Nerf group soon. How would you recommend I go about advertising for that?
So I actually have a whole video on this, how to start a Nerf club. Most towns, depending on the size of your town, they often have a bulletin board of some kind, a public bulletin board. A lot of public radio will let you advertise for small amounts or even for free. There's often you have the World Foam Alliance. You can advertise through us. YouTube, Facebook. Just putting a post on your page, asking your friends, put this on your page. Posters, you can always put posters up around town, near the park, at the library, places people go. A lot of grocery stores will even have a bulletin board that you can put stuff on. The more places, the better. That's the thing is, pretty much everyone has a Nerf blaster. They just don't know about it.
I think what's basically what Chalo has touched upon perfectly, which is exactly why we're here. The World Foam Alliance is basically going to be able to provide that toolkit and provide that platform. So it'll be as easy as just registering on the World Foam Alliance, making sure that we know where your group is located, what you need. So we are getting there. We're not there yet. So in the meantime, what Captain Xavier has said is a good idea. But again, our official launch date where we're going to be fully live will be in January. In January, you'll have the options where we'll have the toolkits where you'll actually be able to launch your local community groups and advertise them properly as well. So that is a great question. That is why we're here, and that is what we're working towards, so that you don't have to go scour social media or anywhere else or find someone. You just go to worldfoamalliance.org and we will have the answers there. And if we don't, we will find them and they will be there. Trust me.
That is the long-term goal, to be the hub where everything happens, but where everyone is connected to what is happening. That way, ideally long-term, we'd love it if like Hasbro or Dart Zone or whatever would say, if you're looking for a Nerf group, check out the World Foam Alliance. I mean, that would be amazing if, because right now they don't advertise the fact that our hobby exists and that there are events and there could be one in your town and you don't even know about it. Yeah, advertising. It's something that we're atrocious at, and is one of the reasons the World Foam Alliance exists. All right, apparently we have another caller. Should we do another caller? Let's do another call.
All right, let's do a caller.
I'm gonna test to see what I'm getting. So I've got 4 different kinds of darts in here. Live? Who are you? Hello?
Are we live?
Yeah, who is this?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is Connor, and question me this. What is your favorite fast food discontinued item?
Rolo McFlurries.
Oh. Yeah. Brad, what about you? What do you got, buddy?
There's so many, but I think the one that makes me the most angry is the grilled stuffed burrito at Taco Bell. They're notorious for crushing your soul with discontinued menu items, but that was like the only reason I went there.
Is the still a thing? Ooh.
Oh yeah.
How about you?
You know what? I don't know. Discontinued item because I don't do enough fast food. Although look at me, you think I would. But I'll be honest. I hate the fact that green shakes are only around for St. Patrick's Day. It's kind of like, you know what, man? I want if you can make colors in the shakes, then you know what? How about you do it for maybe Valentine's Day? Maybe pick a reason to make it orange or do something fun like that. So yeah, there. Now I'm angry about that. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. How dare they?
Yeah, really,
What else you got, Connor?
The Shamrock Shake is really one of the classics, even though it's only out for like once every year.
See, they got to keep it separated from the Grimace Shake, because if you do like the green, the Shamrock, combine it with the Grimace Shake, then gods know what that would do. It can't be good. So maybe they're separated for a reason. Yeah, exactly.
This is true. What about you? Which item do you hate or miss?
Oh, what I miss dearly is either A, the quesarito, or the KFC Double Down. Those are two I just wish every day.
Oh, that was good. That was a time in history.
Awesome. Do you have any other questions, Connor? What else you got, buddy?
That was honestly it. Just gotta say thank you for what you do to the hobby. You really do make this hobby grow for what it is today. I really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you.
And that's all the questions I have.
Thanks, brother. Glad you called in and much appreciated. Connor, you know what? You can slowly see yourself off our lawn politely. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Maybe give it a trim on the way out.
Yes. So then what I want to ask at this point, so again, reminder, be sure to make the comment. If you're new to the chat, I will be doing a giveaway, and the winning comment will be posted right now in the chat. Be sure to copy and paste it. It's basically, what is it? I have bled for this hobby.
I have bled for this hobby.
Make sure to copy and paste it in there. We will be selecting a random winner. The winner will be getting a custom painted Outlaw from me. I'll probably give you an option of 4 or 5 colors, and I will paint it and I will ship it to you. And I'm not kidding. And we will select the winner near the end of the show. Also, a reminder, please make sure you have your contact information in your YouTube profile so we can actually reach out to you and tell you you won, and we don't have to deal with 7 other people trying to tell us that it was them that won. So make sure you have some kind of contact email or chat in your YouTube profile. That way we can message you and say, hey, you won. We need your address and your stuff so we can send you stuff.
Yeah, I still need to send the last prize for the last get a range day. Also need to figure out what I'm going to do for the prize for this range day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You should get patches and stuff. But anyways, hold on. Brad, question.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing patches. I guess I'll have to make a Titan rocket patch.
There you go.
Brad, I think I found...
So what are the local groups? What are the local groups that you usually attend to? Do you have any close to you, or do you already got to travel to get anywhere?
We're a little bit light this year, and I believe at least one of us was in the chat earlier tonight. But I play in like Northeast Ohio Nerf, which has one of my favorite acronyms, which is NEON. That's pretty slick. But the group is a lot of fun. That's where like I learned the hobby basically. Made a few contacts, and I believe one of the gentlemen in our club made one of your bolters, Cap.
Nick Gathinger?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, he's local to you. Nice. Yeah. This bolter here was made by Mitch.
Yeah, exactly. I can see it there. Yeah, exactly. His stuff is great.
Beautiful work. I love his mega bolter. That thing is insane.
That one that's like this big. That thing was stupidly fun, super heavy, fun to field though. So Neon Nerf, great little club. But I've been kind of branching out a little bit more. I decided that this year I was going to try to make it out to a few more games with just a very large backpack, but a backpack on the back of my motorcycle and kind of like ride to different clubs in like the 2-hour vicinity. So I rode up to Pittsburgh from Akron to go to the sci-fi club up there, the Steel City Foam Initiative. There might be a few of those guys in the chat too. And then there's just a couple other Ohio groups that are kind of starting up and just having a good time getting to know more people.
So then, knowing for the 2-hour range in Pittsburgh, have you ever considered about going to the Grove City Invitational that happens every year?
Yes, for sure. This year has been a bit.
Put on such a good event.
Been a bit more than a bit hectic for me for a lot of reasons. So I'm just started getting back into the swing of things now, and all these things are like on my calendar. I'm, like, okay, I gotta make time for this and this and this and this. Trying to make it out to Rochester to play in Aldos's arena. If you used to watch those streams back live every Friday nights, he would have the Nerf Wars in the parkour gym. I want to make it up to one of those because he just started streaming again last week, I believe, and that's close-ish. I'm not riding to that one, but yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome. So again, just a reminder to everyone, it is a free call-in show. You actually pick up the phone and call in. It is free. Even if you called last week, don't worry. We won't say, hey, you already called. Feel free to call in and engage and ask a question
We
or make a
welcome
comment.
repeat offenders.
We do. And really, we haven't done it yet, but if we don't like you, you'll know quickly and you'll be removed quickly. So please don't test that theory either. Maybe I shouldn't open my mouth. We love everyone. So, but yeah, feel free to call and ask a question. And I do believe we have another caller. Who do we got?
Do it. Flash the number. What's the number? I've forgotten the number.
Whoa, what's going on here? Oh.
Hello.
Hey,
who are you?
who's this?
Who gave you this number?
Hey, this is Thomas, aka Brother Seeger. Welcome. I'm welcoming myself back on the lawn.
Hello,
Brother Seeger, welcome back, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
We're good.
We're
Not
good.
bad.
I fixed my long shot.
So
What do you got, brother? What's your question?
So more or less just a couple, I guess, compliments really in the end of the day here, because we're talking about events and then some local advertising stuff. I've been taking some of the advice that I've learned from here to the local club here, actually, funny enough, an Ohio club in the Dayton area. We've been doing a lot of good advertising thanks to all your guys' advice.
Excellent.
Definitely helped our attendance, I think. So definitely happy about that.
We done good.
I do actually yeah, I really like that. I do have a good question here, though. This probably been asked in the past, but I don't remember the answer to it really. What's your most favorite FPS cap you like to play at?
Ooh.
Oh.
I like 150.
150?
That's what we play at our local event we play both at Borst, which it's a family-friendly FPS. You can play with little kids. Yeah, if they get hit in the face, it stings a little, but it doesn't do any permanent damage. It's also what we play in my arena because it's so close quarters. There's just no need to be playing at 200 FPS when you're playing at 20 feet.
And ours tends to do about...
yeah, go ahead, Brad.
Okay. Yeah, ours tends to advertise like 150 to 200, kind of like a soft buffer there. As long as it falls in that range, we generally don't care, but we also play a lot of less public games that are often on private properties or with a smaller group, in the corner of a park. So, if like no kids end up showing up to that war, I'll bust out the Harrier and the Bays and then go full, up to like 300, because most of us kind of just like, who cares? We know what's up. If someone came in that wanted to play, we would more than, gratefully to kind of switch back to make sure it's safe for the participants and, to be inviting too. But when it's just the long-term club members, I will most certainly play up to 300, and I do enjoy that a lot. Especially since it's not CQB.
Game. Yeah, it's a very different game. If you're going to be playing at 300, you play at 75 feet. You don't play at point blank range anymore. And it's a totally different game, and it's a really fun game because it becomes more, aim. You have to be a better marksman. You're more accurate and all of that. A lot of the competitive is usually played at 200 or more. So,
absolutely, Brother Seeger, that was a great question, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, get off my lawn.
For me personally, I like the 150. in general, but in Maryland, we've done a couple of kind of like semi-private events where they limited how many people are coming in. So it's like, all right, yeah, and the cap, I do believe, and I know someone will correct me if I'm wrong, it's like 2 or 250, but it might be we're only at 30 players, and of the 30 that come in of a certain age and range. So it's kind of semi-private with the higher FPS round. Now, I think why I like it is because you don't get to do it that often, which is what makes it fun. But I wonder if that was the standard and only occasionally was a 150, it might be the other way around where it's like, it'd be nice to do the 150 instead of always the higher FPS round. So I'm thinking that's my take in terms of what I've been enjoying.
Yeah.
And what's really refreshing too sometimes is if you play it that high of a velocity, is just go into like just a small like barbecue or a family event, and I'll take the sling fire with me and just a few little mags, and I can have just as much fun doing that too. So I guess it's really about the community around you at that moment. But either can be fun. The beautiful
thing about the variety in our hobby is, if there's a way you want to play, it can almost certainly be done. You just got to find the right people to do it. If you're at a club that's got a lot of little kids and a lot of parents want to bring their kids, then you're going to play at a lower FPS because it's for the little kids. If your event is nothing but adults, you can absolutely crank it up and play a more competitive game, a more, hardcore game. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Yeah.
It's a very versatile hobby.
Yes. And that's something that a lot of people forget. Is that our hobby is everything from 2 kids in their living room with a jolt all the way up to things like Rag and End War and, Ragnaroktoberfest. It's public wars with little kids. It's private wars with all adults. It's full immersion, full costume LARPs. It's military reenactments with, realistic uniforms, reenacting real battles that really happened. All of that is done with Nerf, and too often people will forget that and will only focus on whatever subset of all of that they focus on. And they forget that the LARPers exist and that the LARPers need their blasters to look realistic. And the LARPers forget that the people playing in a public park cannot have realistic blasters. And the high cap people forget that little kids want to play. And the adults, with little kids, forget that adults want to play something more competitive. And if you don't play all the different aspects, it's really easy to get hyper-focused on only your area, and it can cause some problems, especially on the online groups where people want to post something and someone else thinks that's not appropriate. Like, but this is required for the club that I play in. Why? What do you mean it's not appropriate? Like, well, we only allow, 150 FPS. And like, my group's plays at 300. What's the problem? And then it just leads to some strife. And so it's nice that more and more people are becoming more aware of all of the variety that exists and embracing it better and explaining it. And people understand this Facebook group is for the non-cosmetic stuff. This Facebook group is for the cosmetic stuff, because we don't want them getting crossed, because we don't want a kid to see a picture of a realistic blaster, think it's cool, paint his strife black, and take it out in public. That's a matter of education. That's a matter of understanding. It's a matter of what is and isn't appropriate in the right places. But again, it's just all the variety is one of the things I love about it, because I play all of that. I do the LARP, I do the HVZ, I do public wars, I do private wars, I do competitive stuff.
It's like you dressed up like a big silly pirate with a bandolier this past weekend or something.
Sometimes I'm a pirate with a bandolier running around running amok. I like to try it all, to taste it all, figure out what parts do I like, what parts do I not like, what parts really work for me, where can I help other people get into the part of the hobby they want to be.
I'll be honest, when I saw the picture, I was envious. I'm like, I got to buy a bandolier. This is going to be fun.
That's the bandolier that I made for Mega XL. I took just a regular shotgun bandolier and took out every other row of stitching to expand the size of the loops so they fit Mega XL, and it just also happens to perfectly fit the Busby pistols.
See, that's awesome. All right, I think we have a caller. Shall we go talk to somebody? Apparently.
And that's why we're here. Hey. Or something. I don't know. Who are you?
Hey.
It's Bots from Bots and Blasters. Hey, I have a hot take, but also I want your input on it.
Let's hear it.
I was talking to somebody recently in our local club, and we had kind of brought up that the hobby has become entirely very disposable. And what I mean by that is, in the past, we used to have primaries like tier and ire, like how Captain Xavier does, where you've put a lot of work into them and they mean a lot to you. And it seems that nowadays, maybe that's not the case, because the Seagull just came out and everyone's like, well, screw the Harrier. I don't want to mess with that anymore. The Seagull's a new shiny thing. So I was just curious what you guys thought about that.
Accessibility has definitely changed the hobby, and some people will argue it's for the worse. Yeah, you don't see as many things like ire and tier and Rage of Dust, or the what was Wall comes on, the leader, or the paradigm shift.
Yeah.
Those amazing builds, all the stuff that Mr. Nathan builds. You see a little bit less of that because it's no longer necessary. Because you can go to Walmart, spend $30 and get a blaster that'll hit 180, and that's cool for people to get into the hobby. A lot of the reason we made them look as good as we did is, as long as we were putting all this effort into it, we might as well also make it look cool. And if you don't have to put the effort in, you got Al the Geek up here, who he's all about making stuff cosmetically cool.
It is, and I think part of it though is also because there's a big push to really expand. So it's like all the new shiny things out there. So there will be a period when there's shiny things out there, everyone out and go get it. But at the same time, people will still revert back and get other things as well once the new shiny has gone away. But then also, as the hobby grows and your group grows, I feel like you can specifically have game types where it's like, all right, this one, no, like example, you see a lot of hobby games that's like stock blasters, but no Percy's. So you can implement that way. Anyways, hold on. Brad, what do you think about this, buddy?
Yeah. The accessibility thing is really the trick, because like when I got to admit that I haven't done a serious mod that wasn't just like a spring upgrade in a hot minute. Like we used to need to have to mod to get those high performance numbers, and now that like along with modding comes creativity, because like generally, if you're modding, you're pretty creative to begin with, or at least have that desire to make something new. Whereas like if you're just interested in performance, that there isn't that urge quite as much as there used to be. You can paint a seagull. I got the white seagull. I'm going to paint mine like sparkly blue, but it's not the same as making something new.
Yeah.
Which is why I grabbed
we're going to have to ask you to get off our lawn, but we're probably going to continue this discussion.
I think so.
All right.
Too.
Well, either way, I'll get off your lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Well, here's a good example of it. So this is a full auto Strife, and then also the Moto Blitz is still semi, but then also upgraded as well. And I can't wait to use this because it's fun and ridiculous, but at the same time competitive enough where it's not just you stand up with the big blast, you get pinged in the head, and you're like, I suck, and then you walk away.
Yeah. The discussion is something that's been had, and you have to be real careful because it often starts to traipse into the realm of gatekeeping of these kids these days aren't real modders because they don't spend hours making their blaster. They just went to Out of Darts and bought a seagull. And you're like, so what? They get to play. They're having fun. What difference does that make?
Who cares?
I don't understand the mentality of you need to have worked on it to be able to play. It allows people to play that wouldn't have before, because not everyone's good at tinkering. Not everyone has the time to tinker. Not everyone has a workshop to tinker in. And so being able to go to Walmart and buy a blaster that allows you to be competitive allows more people to play. And that's a wonderful and beautiful thing. Inevitably, they're going to find us, those of us that built all this insane stuff, and many of them are going to go, I want to try that, and they'll get into it. But
so the responsibility falls on us that tinker to therefore make people envious, and that way they'll tinker.
Yeah, to remind them of what we had to go through. I've got a great example of the quote good old days.
This is starting to sound like I had to like walk down uphill to school both ways, like through the snow in the wintertime thing, right?
I did. You were probably there.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, if you wanted a blaster to hit over 150 FPS, you had to make it out of parts you got in a hardware store. This is all PVC, and the trigger is a clothesline. I mean,
And I'm more
Once
terrified
upon
of
a
that
time,
than
you
I
had
am
to
of a
earn
Nexus
the right
Pro.
to have a powerful blaster.
Exactly, Brad.
And I find it ridiculous because I came in after all of that. I was never in the old NIC, the hardware store days. I went straight to a Stampede with a heavy spring and running on trust fires because I didn't know any better. But then, of course, I've built things like Ire and Tier and the Smart Gun and,
It's awesome. All right. So again, just a reminder, everyone, we are doing a blaster giveaway. Again, the comment, you put it in the chat. It is, I bled for this hobby. Make sure to copy it in, paste it in there. I have bled for this blaster. Because the blaster is going to be the Dart Zone Outlaw. If you, this whole time, been listening to me and have no idea what it is, I have one that's painted right here. This is the new Dart Zone Hammer Prime. I got to get one, but I don't have any here. Unpainted things don't last long in my house for some reason. But this is the, I know, it's crazy. Do I have an Etsy store? What the hell? So again, Dart Zone Outlaw. This one is obviously like in a brass or like a, what's the term? Anyways, you see it. But I will be offering it possibly in 5 color options. So if you win, you will be getting a brand new one of these, and you will pick the color. I actually sell these in my shop for about $90, and you can get them through my Etsy store. And I actually provide the free 3D printed holster just because they're kind of cheap, but that's why they're free. But I throw them in anyways and print you one. But yeah, Dart Zone Outlaw, you'll win this today. So again, I bled for this hobby. Make sure to make it in the comments. We will randomly select a winner. By the end of the show, we will announce the winner. I will find out what the color is, and I will make it for you. Also, make sure in your YouTube profile there is some kind of contact information so we can reach out to you and tell you won. So I don't have to deal with 10 people saying, no, it was me that won. Because
either that or join the foam, the World Foam Alliance, and we can contact you through that.
Yes, thank you. I don't know if people want me to. I will sign it if you want me to. If you'd rather me not damage the paint, it's like, no, don't sign it. I don't care either way. I am good like that. So
sign it on the inside.
You mean I shouldn't sign it right across the whole big paint job like this to block it all out? And I'll scribble it like I'm back in like grade 4. I'll use a crayon and do this. That way you really know it's original.
Tag it like graffiti with a spray can. Spray paint your name on the side like a tagger.
Like that. Ow. So again, remember everyone, if you want to call in, phone number will be posted. Feel free to call in, ask us any questions you want, or make any comments. It is free to call in. We will talk to you. Don't worry if you've called in before. It's okay to call us back.
Yeah.
But I have a question though. Actually, Brad,
coming up this weekend. Have we talked about the event I've got coming up this weekend?
We can, but hold on. I want to ask Brad a question first.
What's up? Who are you?
I want to know what is the current project that you're actually working on? Is it secret or something you're excited about? What is it you got on your bench that you're tinkering with?
Dude, you see, you asked that question like there's just one open project.
I can see like 4 from here at least.
Yeah, pick one.
Oh yeah. It's not even something that's like terribly inspiring at the moment. I'm just trying to finish up some older stuff that's just been sitting at my bench. I've got like a Nerf Cam ECS that's just in parts that's sanded.
I don't think I've ever owned one of those.
I found one new at like it was either like Ross Dress for Less or Burlington or something.
Yeah.
A couple
weird
Christmases
stuff goes
ago.
up at Ross.
I love those places around the holidays.
You never know what Ross is going to have.
Weird stuff, that is for sure. So it could either be that, because I'm going to put like a new screen where the original camera was in there, because that thing, I took it to a war just as a joke, and I think it recorded in like maybe like 360p quality.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
8-bit color, man.
Absolutely. I think my Game Boy had better clarity than that. But I think the one that I'm most excited to finish is one of my older ones, is a Mega Mastodon. And it's not like I'm not even doing that much to it that's remarkable. It's just something that's been sitting on my shelf for quite some time. And I took it apart. I sanded it. You know how not smooth the surface on that blaster is.
Yeah.
And I gave it that nice kind of like blue, sparkly hot rod paint job. and then I shelved it for like 3 years, and it's just been collecting dust. So
I did that with my Nemesis. It was in a box for at least 3 or 4 years, and I finally built it.
So that's what I'm going to work on over the winter because I got all the paint stuff done. Just time to redo the internals, and we are good to go. So that'll be cool.
Dude, that's awesome. All right, should we take a caller? Then after the caller, I want to hear about what event Chalo's going to this weekend because that we got to talk about that after that. So yeah, caller, who do we got?
Hello.
Who are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, my name's Willis. I'm pretty big on Discord. Just got back from RAG this weekend. But really, I wanted to call to let you guys know it's Prime Day, and right now they have $15 Moto Blitzes at Flash
No
sale.
way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'll go check that when I'm done here.
Some $15 mags. Nice.
Oh, see now this is a great call. Everyone else had great questions, but I like this. If I have to step away for 2 minutes, nobody pay attention.
You're right, exactly.
I'm driving. Leave me alone.
It's a flash sale, so you gotta get out it quick. But yeah, Rag was great. Saw Captain X there. Didn't get to say hi, but we were all so busy.
It was.
Oh, also Captain X. At one point, I found in a Goodwill a hammer shot that I think a fan of yours made. It had the black and orange paint job with X's on it. I forgot to bring it down with me to RAG, but at some point I want to get that in your hands because it definitely seems like a fan-made blaster, as an homage to you, and I just randomly found it in a Goodwill one day.
Cool. I actually found a blaster that I had modded for somebody in a Goodwill. It had broken, and so they donated it. So I took it and fixed it.
So yeah, that's about all I had to say. So
cool.
That's awesome. Willis,
get yourself a Moto Blitz.
Yeah, man.
$14.99.
One.
What's your handle, brother? Go ahead and tell yourself.
We've let the cat out of the bag. By the time I get to my computer, it'll be sold out.
I know. Someone buy me 4.
Right, exactly.
Why I don't give out my
My handle
anymore.
is Willis00788.
Where did you get that part? And I told them, and then they bought one. Now I can't get them anymore.
Cool, man. Thanks, Willis. You have any other comments or questions?
See you.
Actually, what was your favorite part from RAG, dude?
Yeah, what's your favorite part of RAG?
Oh, the comp. Comp was really good.
Oh yeah?
Why is that?
The last three matches of comp were just absurdly like the skill level was just amazing.
Yeah, Dauntless versus Nebula International, and then Red Dawn,
Nebula
Red
East
Tide
versus
Dauntless, and then
Red Tide.
Nebula versus Red Tide. They were all amazing matches.
Yeah, the matches were insane, and the skill level is just absurd. Like, everyone's so talented in this hobby.
Yeah, athleticism. Nebula International's comeback against Dauntless was just incredible.
Yeah,
I think they came down from like 150 points down and ended up winning by 200. Right, get off my lawn.
Awesome. All right, Brad.
I hope I get
official.
that blaster from him. I want that hammer shot now.
There you go. I'm sure it'll make it to you. Brad, ask Xavier what he's talking about for this weekend if you don't know what he's talking about.
So, what are you doing this weekend?
I am going to St. Louis for Mutation Mall Madness Hardcore 4.
Awesome.
They've changed the rules, and in every rule change they've made were based on suggestions we made last year. The things that we had issues with, they fixed them. It sounds like it is going to be amazing. If you're not familiar with Mall Madness, it takes place in a mall in, I think, River City, which is right across the river from St. Louis. It takes place in a mall overnight. So the mall closes at like 7 o'clock or whatever the mall closes. The game starts at 10 p.m. and runs until like 4 a.m. It is absolutely exhausting. It's a humans versus zombies. Technically, it's a humans versus zombies. The humans are organized into 10-person squads. Last year was 5-person squads. This year it's 10-person squads. And we're trying to gather resources. But there are not enough resources to go around. And humans can attack other humans. And then there's zombies. the more resources you gather, the more levels you get. The more levels you get, the more equipment and special class levels you can get, which help you survive longer. It is this weekend, which is what, the 14th? I think.
So it starts on Friday?
No, it starts Saturday night. Saturday night in St. Louis. Check them out. They've got a Facebook page, Mall Madness. It's run by the Frag Society is the group that runs it, and they run a real serious event. It's really cool. FPS cap is 135, I believe, 130, 135. iPro is obviously required because we're shooting at each other. It is an amazing event. I went last year and was just absolutely hooked. It's like, this is an event I'm going to every year. And this time I'm bringing some more of the locals. I'm bringing Sergeant Deplorable. I'm bringing Crewman Rocket. The usual auxiliary folks from the east side are going to be there. We've got 2 squads that we're putting together. It should be an amazing event. I'm really looking forward to it.
I feel like you're looking really
that they
looking
made
forward to this.
last year, when you were at level 1, you could only have like spring-powered blasters, and until you got to higher levels, you couldn't have electronic blasters. But that meant if you eventually wanted to run an electronic blaster, you had to bring 2 full loadouts, and that could be difficult when you're traveling long distances.
Yep.
And so instead, this was the similar thing. We made the complaint at UMBCs at Maryland Mayhem. You could only use spring-powered blasters at the start of the game, and then you could unlock electronic blasters. But again, that meant you had to have 2 full loadouts. And if you're traveling from, say, the UK, like several of my people were, that can become a problem if they want to ever use electronic blasters. And so what they did instead for Mall Madness is they limited the capacity that you have. So if you're using a magazine-fed blaster, what's limited is how many magazines you can have on you. Or rather, how much your magazines can hold altogether. Now, if you're using like a drum, then they limit the size of your drum, which could be a problem because you start out with only a 25 capacity, which means there are plenty of blasters that have more than a 25 round drum that you just wouldn't be able to use. But it means I can use my FDL3 right out the door with a 22 round magazine and have 3 socks. So then every time I level up, I get another 25 darts worth of magazines. And so I can put in another 22 round mag each time I level up and eventually have more capacity. You can carry as many darts as you want in like a dump pouch, but you can't have it, you have to load them into your mag. But I like that as a mechanism. That means I only have to bring 1 loadout and I can just keep improving that 1 loadout. I think it's a much better way of doing it. But we'll see. It may turn out to be totally broken and overpowered and the zombies will all get wiped out. Or it'll be underpowered and all the humans will be dead by midnight, which is always my goal anyway.
I feel like they should put you on their promotional staff because clearly you are very excited about this and they should probably cut you a check or something.
There are some mechanisms about it. They were able to do it a similar, it's very similar to Ragnaroktoberfest Stalking Dead in a lot of ways. And they have the same advantage that Stalking Dead is played on a high school campus rather than a college campus. So it's a much, much, much smaller area that it's played in. And that allows them to do things that you can't do when people are, half a mile, 2 miles apart on a college campus. They can simply blow a whistle or make an announcement and have everybody go to a safe zone, and they can then reset the field. So at Ragnaroktoberfest this year, it was a haunted fog would roll in. And when the haunted fog came in, you had 3 minutes to get back to your base or you were dead. And so someone would announce haunted fog and people would start relaying it to everyone else, fog, get back to base, and everyone would get back to base. And then they could reset the MacGuffins, reset the ammo, reset the loot, set up for the next missions, whatever. And it was really easy for them to do that on the fly in the field. And when you're in a mall, and if somebody blows a whistle anywhere in that mall, everybody hears it because it reverberates, and they can say, everyone back to the food court. And we all go back to the food court and they reset the missions or they set up the next mission or whatnot. It allows the game to run really, really smoothly and for them to do a much more complicated scenarios because they can reset things and update things if necessary. And it's just a wonderful way to run those kinds of events.
So basically So basically, what you're actually telling everyone, and Brad, I think what he's telling us is that we have to go to a Mall Madness. I feel like we're already filling up your calendar, and you've barely been on with us for about an hour.
Oh yeah, I've
One thing
got
about Mall
post-it
Madness
notes of all the places I gotta go, and that sounds
Yeah.
like a sweet one too, though.
Mall Madness is an awesome one. The downside to trying, overly advertising it is limited attendance. They only have so much room because it's in a mall. So you're only allowed to have so many people in the mall, or it becomes a fire hazard. So their tickets sell out pretty quick.
I could imagine, because I hear mall and I hear Nerf blasters, and I think immediately of like Dawn of the Dead, and I'm like, I want to do that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that is one of the, like, they add a lot of additional cover. They bring in just ridiculous amounts of cardboard boxes to set up for cover, and they've got all kinds of super zombies that have special MacGuffins, and they've got just all kinds of. It's just amazingly well run, and one of the reasons that it is so well run, same thing with Ragnaroktoberfest, is they do charge there is a fee to play. And that's something that, like, a lot of HVZs don't, because our hobby has a weird hatred of anybody having to pay to play HVZ. But as a result, there are limits on what the HVZs can do because they just don't have the money. And something like Mall Madness, if you want to rent out a mall overnight, that's not cheap. That takes money. And so you do have to buy tickets to go. But as a result, they put on just an absolutely amazing event.
All right.
Same
so
thing with
at
Talking
this point. So if you don't know, Mall Madness this weekend, but everything Chayla just said, just forget you heard it. That way to make sure that the rest of us can still get tickets. So it never happened. It's not going to happen, but it might be happening this weekend. But don't buy tickets until we got tickets, and then we'll let you know.
Anymore. The game's already sold out. So I mean, you would have to be preparing for next year's.
I'm talking about next year. Don't buy it. But anyways, just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Be sure
no, it's been canceled. Never mind.
That's right. It's gone. We are doing a giveaway. Make sure to include the winning statement. I bled for this hobby. We are giving away a Dart Zone Outlaw. Also, a reminder, next Wednesday is going to be the Foam Zone. The Foam Zone is our talk show that is hosted by Andrew Dart Sweep. And that'll be happening next Wednesday. He is every other Wednesday for about an hour, where he picks a local Nerf person. I do believe it's Michael Lasik. Is that who's up for next on the Foam Zone next Wednesday? Someone quote me. They'll be in the comments there, but that's next Wednesday, and I'll do a better advertising for it. But there is a portion where you can call in, but it is basically more like a one-on-one interview. And then also The Forge, my episode dropped last week. It's an episode on painting. Every other Thursday, you will get an episode of The Forge. However, more importantly, tomorrow will be the latest issue of The Range. The Range will drop tomorrow, where, again, Captain Xavier will take us out on his range, and he'll be doing what he does, so be sure to check that out. Now,
it should be fun. We're going to be firing Titan rockets and full-length darts. I've got some friends. We had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, this is going to be good. So make sure to check that out tomorrow. Now, I saw a question in the chat, and instead of me and Xavier talking about it, Brad, what has been your favorite integration to work on that you've had the most fun doing?
Oh man, I'm gonna get raked through the coals a little bit here on this chat. I will.
No, you won't.
Do the
we'll
mea
defend
culpa
you
now.
All right.
It is, and I don't own it anymore, but it was the classic Coupe 772 Straven.
There it is.
Get off my lawn. I'm done with you. How dare you, sir? You're coming to my house.
All right, I'll stick around.
No.
Yeah, I sliced that bad boy up, and because I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I still had fun doing it, and it came out pretty rough because it was like the first one that I ever attempted. But it was an interesting learning experience, because I was new to modding at the time, and I think I got one of those select fire kits. I can't not remember the name of those websites, like Banggood and NF Strike, Lightake, exactly. Yeah. And I'm not sure which was a longer period of time, the time it took to ship that kit to me, or the time that it functioned before it burned out in my blaster. But it was probably the former, unfortunately. But it was a lot of fun. So I made a a candy red Straven that I thought was pretty slick. Although I think that was before I went on like that fun Nerf subreddit that we have, and they're like, "Oh, don't do that, don't do that." I'm like, "Oops, too late, sorry." But it was fun.
There is nothing
I
in the
support
world
that.
wrong with a Straven. I just it's the memes at this point of hating Stravens.
Sure.
It is a really cool integration, and it's a great way to learn integrations. And I have seen one that I really liked where they actually did use both flywheel cages.
See, now that would be interesting because at least it's
Yeah.
imaginative somewhat and use
It
the
requires a
functionality
lot
of both
more-
blasters.
Yeah, they made it so that it fired through both flywheel cages. It used the Raven's magwell instead of the Strife's magwell. So the Strife's magwell was purely cosmetic, and it requires a different bit of shell cutting because the normal way people make Stravens, the flywheel cages don't align. And so they had to do a lot more work with the integration to get it so that it was using both. And that I really liked. That I thought was a really cool idea. I don't know how well it worked. We've long since learned that you're better to have both flywheel cages right next to each other as opposed to halfway down the barrel.
For sure.
That is awesome. So again, then on the same idea of just a reminder, everyone, you can call in and ask questions. The number will be flashed and you can see it. Feel free to call in. But in the meantime, I guess, so in the last 5 years, what was the best event, Nerf event you have gone to from a personal experience? And why? Ha!
Wow. Okay. I have great love for all the small clubs that I've visited. But the last major event I went to, I was just getting hyped up pre-pandemic. Really excited about doing HVZs and everything. And I think the last one that I was at, honestly, for as HVZ goes, was Penn State 2019.
I was at that one, wasn't I?
You were.
Yeah.
I was small, slightly more of a nobody than I am now. Still a nobody, but having fun. But I think I got a selfie out of it, and somewhere I got to dig up the footage. I'll post it in a short or something. But you were walking around with that duct tape, like a melee knife that you have, walking around up and down the line, going murder, you know. And I'm pretty sure I got like knifed right in the GoPro. Yes, exactly. I think I was a victim on that particular fine afternoon, and I got footage of that somewhere. But that was a really fun event. It started off pretty insane, but once it got into its
the
groove,
socks only first round was brutal.
and I think the respawn timer was like 5 seconds.
It was short, whatever it was. It was like 15 seconds or something. Yeah, and socks only. It was pretty rough.
There was a lot of running that afternoon, but
The police got called on us.
No, thank you.
The police got called on Rag actually this year.
Really?
Yeah, someone said we had real guns, so the police showed up, and there we are dressed like pirates with flintlocks, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, we'll just."
There's no threat here.
I come walking over with my bandolier, going, "What seems to be the problem, officer?" They're like, "No, we're good."
Move along, get out of here. So then I guess
for me, it was my favorite event was Rag 2018 still.
Oh, why is that?
Because we managed to achieve a human victory in an HVZ that didn't have a human victory condition.
You didn't cheat.
The plan
did
was they were just going to keep sending waves of zombies until we were all dead. But we managed to hold until they ran out of time and had to be off the site. So the humans ended up being declared the victors because we ran the clock. And the beautiful thing is we could not have held one more wave. If they had sent another wave, they would have wiped us out. We were all out of ammunition. I was down to an empty strife and a sword, just spitting my fury at the horde. And they said, "No, time's up." And we're like, "Yes!"
That's incredible.
All right. For everyone again watching, last chance. We will be selecting a winner shortly. So last chance. If you've not made the comment, post the comment. I have bled for this hobby. Again, post a comment in the chat. I have bled for this hobby. We will be doing the winner selection shortly. So again, if you haven't, and what the giveaway is, it's a brand new Dark Zone Outlaw. I do sell them in my Etsy store, but the best thing is that this one will be free. Because if you win, I'll paint it the color you want it, and I will send it to you. So again, in the chat, post a comment. We'll have a winner. I guess, Brad, what I want to get into while people are scrambling to see if they've entered or not is so in terms of like the social media aspect of what you do, do you find, or remind me, this isn't your full-time gig, right? Or is this your part-time gig?
This is so much less than a part-time gig currently. I work in like the medical field day to day, and whatever mental capacity I have left afterwards is typically saved for like the couch and some light video gaming. But in between that, I do like try to at least get a video out a week. I'm trying to do some more shorts. I have a lot more fun with the short content, and I mean it pays nothing, just like the long form content that pays nothing either. So it's definitely not my full-time job, but having a lot of fun making the short form stuff. That's pretty fun.
So
I need to get better at doing short form. I haven't mastered that particular style yet.
You're getting there. We'll get you up to speed. But then I guess, Brad, so then for you, I guess it's the luxury of not being behooven to have to like get the content right to make sure you get the viewership you need to therefore hit the numbers you get to get the income. So then I guess you generally run, I'm guessing you're generally running like, I think this will be cool, as opposed to trying to keep up with trends, or is it the other way around?
Oh man, every time somebody says something, they use that dreaded YouTube word, algorithm. I could care less. I really don't care.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of nice. It's kind of freeing. Would I love for this to be like a job? I'm not really sure, because then like you use the word beholden, and I'd rather not be, because I know that you end up making 10 TikToks a day to try to, you know, there's a difference between like growing your channel by making a lot of extra stuff. You know, maybe you're not happy with the silver play button. You need the gold one day or whatever, and you got to keep going and going. But like at some point, just chasing that, if fun isn't the goal, if making interesting content to at least me isn't the goal, I can't do it. Like I just, you know, if I'm not enjoying myself, why am I here? So basically, yeah, I'm trying to do stuff that's kind of fun for me. Right now it's a lot of reviews, but I do want to get into some more interesting like fireside chat kind of videos that aren't really about a blaster in particular, but a little bit of story time, some Nerf history perhaps. I don't know. So I'm trying to branch out over the winter when there's less play time.
I think that's very cool, and you played right into my next question, which would have been, what's your recommendation for people that kind of want to do more content? But clearly, it's do what you want to do the fun stuff. So,
yeah, that's really the only three things I ever recommend to anybody is that get a good camera. If you have a phone, that's generally fine 99% of the time. A microphone helps a lot. You know, if you have like 4K, it's kind of tough to, you know, if your audio is like really, really bad, you know. But more important than any of the technical stuff is, are you having fun, and is it coming through on camera? Because if you know your audience can see that you're enjoying yourself, they're gonna, you know, and see that too, and kind of latch on and then eventually hit that subscribe button. Or at least that's generally kind of what worked for me for the most part. And that's about it, really. Just have fun.
That makes a lot of sense. And it's like Chael and I have talked about it. We're both because we both have full-time gigs, we have the luxury of like doing kind of the fun part about it and keep doing so. Unless Chael has been lying to me this whole time, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't. And I think that's why his content's always been great.
Yeah, and I'm wanting to get back to more of the content I did in the early days, the mod tips and the build guides, and get away from the reviews. There's plenty of reviews out there. I like the free stuff, but not enough to have that be all that I do anymore.
I do need a good like flashlight though. You know, I've seen you do a few.
I can recommend a few. I can recommend a few. True Night makes a wicked flashlight, man.
I legitimately do need one, though.
I need to. So did I. I mean, until True Night started sending me one a week, I didn't have any good flashlights. Now I got a bin full. I need to send the guy an email and give him the bad news that I don't want to review any more flashlights. I've got enough.
Like, I really appreciate this, sir.
I really do, but to bring up that horrible word, it has tanked my algorithm.
From now on, please send them to Brad at American Foam. All right, we have a winner.
I'll send him your email address. No, but I know a guy. You'll get an email from a guy going, "Hey, you want to review the V27?"
Nice.
All right, we have a winner. Brad, would you like to announce the winner? Have you seen it in the chat?
Who's the winner?
All right. Nightbot says, all right, the winner of our giveaway for the I Have Bled for This Hobby giveaway is the Foam Flinger. Congrats.
Nice. I'll bet he actually has bled for this hobby. I don't think I have a single major build that doesn't have at least some of my blood in it. I know Ire does, and I know Tyr does, and the Smart Gun definitely does.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Foam Flinger. You have won. We can find out after, but I think of the colors I'll do is either white, blue, red, orange, and green. Yeah, let's go with that. Pick a color, man. If you have to think about it, let me know. But white, blue, red, orange, or green. And my wife just yelled from upstairs, purple. So you know what? We'll throw in another one, purple.
Kind of purpley.
That does sound purple. It is purpley. It is fabulous. Oh, one other thing, Brad. So part of what we're thinking with Christmas upon us, and like we see things that like Clowny Nerf has done in terms of charitable event to raise awareness and just kind of leverage our influence to help those that really do need help. So we are toying with the idea of doing a stream around Christmas time where it'll probably be a continuous stream with various people
notable
showing
Nerf
up.
Pundits.
Yes.
I'm okay being called a Nerf celebrity. It's okay.
There you go. Nerf celebrity. We were doing in December. Would you possibly put you on the spot? Yes or no? Are you in? No, but
yes.
Oh, that was easy. So then, actually, Chelo, you want to tell them better what we're thinking? It's not in writing yet, but we have an idea.
What did I just commit to? Okay.
So,
that's how we all end up here.
I'm not sure if we've decided if we're actually going to go with Clowny's usual thing or if we're doing something separate. But the plan is to do a stream, and it would be you would be in for a 2-hour block, and the first hour would be with the previous person, and the next hour would be with the next person. So it would alternate who you're streaming with, and you just probably do call-in stuff, do whatever you want to talk about, sing Christmas carols, whatever. It's just going to be a continuous stream. Probably, depending on how many people we get, will determine how long it ends up being. But I think we were looking at a 12-hour stream because we're all old men and we don't want to do the night shift. But then we were pointed out, hey, there's people in Europe that might be willing. You're like, that's a good point. We could get our people in Asia. We could get Gavin Fuzzy on here. We could get Sir Scorp, and we could get the N7s, or we could get Millen from Devil Z. We could get Pewtech. Who knows who all we could get? But the idea is just to raise awareness for Clowny's thing or whatever charity we decide to do. But yeah, it would be a charity live stream for Christmas, for the holy days, whatever your holy day may be. There's like 23 different holy days in December. Pick one.
Toyotathon, and yes, I am down with that. Sounds like a good time. I really did enjoy starting streaming recently. Just playing classic Nintendo cartridges on my old Retron 5 console that I got from the exchange that plays all those old cartridges, so I can plug that directly into my computer. I've just been hanging out, doing some live streams lately with chatting with some subscribers, having a good time with that. But I'd be more than happy to help you guys out with that. I know I've been a part of Clowny's Drive in the past. It'd be really cool to mod something on stream and kind of, I don't know if he's still doing the giveaways.
Cool. That would be awesome if you mod the thing you then give as a giveaway. That's a fabulous idea. Somebody write that down or I will forget it.
Sorry, say that again. I was reading the chat. Or I might be pulling just say it again. Say it again.
Say it again. If on the chat we modded a blaster that then we donate to be a prize, that would be cool.
I think that'd be great. And actually, we are planning some various collaborations where certain blasters or items may have actually traveled through various people's hands, and then everyone putting their spin on it. And then there'll be the charitable auction, or we'll be giving it away. But either way, we have many things in the work, and you're gonna want to keep your eye on it because there are gonna be some cool things. I tell you, it's the cause is good. Our intentions are good, and when that happens, it's amazing how charitable people can be and what they're willing to give away. So we are hoping to make this as big as we can, and really to kind of just help out. Like, I give away a lot of blasters. I've been lucky because people give me stuff. I'm able to get a lot of stuff, and it's fun to give stuff away because I don't know. That's the best part about this hobby for me. It's just having fun and being good to one another. And I'll get off my soapbox now. Anyways, where were we?
And I really wanted to shout out, like, super quick, in the chat, in addition to, this charity stream and Clowny stuff, Willis in the chat brings up a good point that Containment Crew and they do that Joy of Socks charity raffle in memory of the gentleman who passed away of Thomas. And it's a really good charity that they're going to be doing again this year. I think I'm going to be a part of that also. So be on the lookout for the Joy of Socks raffle as well.
I met Tom. We were instantly friends. We were grumpy old men in the heat. It was great.
Yeah, I've only ever heard great things. So
yeah, I got to meet him.
Happy to help out.
So that alone tells you what you need to know about him.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So at this point, again, everyone, time is running thin. If you have a question or a comment and you want to call in now. Call in now before we change our mind and decide we don't want to talk to anybody else because the three of us are just having fun talking to each other. But if you feel the need to ask a question, make a comment, or just want to, ask a question, make a comment, call in now. But also in the meantime, Brad, tell us then, where can people find you? Links, otherwise, because you do a couple of different live streams, correct? Tell us about that and where they can find you and when.
Yeah, so primarily the new thing I'm doing right now, in addition to the sparse Nerf reviews, is video game live streaming here on YouTube. I'm going to try to branch out to Twitch. Maybe I don't care so much about that because it's mostly just for fun. But we've been doing some retro games. We did I don't know if you were watching, but we did Mario Kart last Saturday. Yeah, that is an interesting event. But we had a lot of fun playing that, and I'm trying to get it to where we're going to be doing some interactive streams with some of the viewers in terms of being able to log in and play with other viewers and myself as well. So that could be a lot of fun. But hang out. That's every Tuesday right now, typically from like 8 to question mark, usually about 10, 11 o'clock. But that's been a great time. So usually every Tuesday at 8 here on YouTube at American Foam. And I'm also on Instagram as American Foam Nerf and TikTok as Brad the Nerd.
I love that. Oh, speaking of which then, so I guess that you've had some interactions with one said Maritime Foam, aka Anthony. Isn't he just the worst?
He is just a terrible person. I don't know why we let him on this platform. Canadians,
right? Man, I ask you.
Wait, what? I should be offended by that, shouldn't I? And for anyone listening, it is Anthony Maritime Foam. He is also part of the World Foam Alliance, and we love him dearly. But also, we know that Brad and Maritime have a great have a friendship going on. So, hence my comments. Don't be now thinking that I'm trashing Anthony.
He's a good dude.
He absolutely is. Wait, I guess before we check out, do we have any last comments in the chat that we should address or answer?
Got any comments? Ask us a question. I built a thing. I fixed it.
You fixed the thing?
Yeah. Oddly enough, the broken plunger was not affecting the performance at all. It's getting the same performance it was with the broken plunger as it's getting with the metal plunger.
Interesting.
And I don't know if that's correct or incorrect. With bamboo darts, it's hitting 230. With all the other darts, it's hitting around 190. So I don't remember what exactly spec'd. I've got a slightly longer barrel, and I've got a heavier spring, but I do also have a scar barrel. So the competitive play that we do is at 220, so hitting 190 is perfectly acceptable for me. I wonder what it would do with the light worker darts. I got a box of them around here somewhere.
Yeah, those are interesting. I'm kind of
ahead,
concerned that I'm going to mix up the green tip darts and the purple tip darts and the orange tip darts and get inconsistent performance out of all of them. So I'm just like,
yeah,
I really hope our clubs in general, I mean, you can buy whatever you want, but don't mix and match too terribly much, because there's enough of a difference. It's not huge, but it's enough to throw it off a little bit.
I got anywhere up to like a 50 FPS difference between the orange or the green and the purple.
Yeah.
And the real issue is that if somebody shows up to an event with a blaster that hits 150 or like whatever the maximum cap is, but they're using the heavier darts, that 150 is going to hit a lot harder than 150 with a lighter dart.
For sure.
Because that's how physics works. If you fire the same dart out of the same blaster, hypothetically, they should have the same energy. One will go faster and one will go slower, but one has less mass and one has more mass. So it should be the same amount of energy. But two blasters that fire the same, those two darts at the same FPS are not hitting the same. Now, it's not a huge difference. You're looking at like 0.004 joule, but it's something to be aware of. I may do a video about it.
You should do a video. But before, we're going to, I have one more last topic, so we might run over, but I think this is important. I've seen it already, but I'm going to ask your two opinions first, and I'll weigh in because I actually saw it. So we all know that Dart Zone has released its new darts, the tags darts. So they're the ones that are actually
the chalk darts.
Basically, yeah, that can actually mark. So what are your thoughts on it? Brad, you can go first. What do you think, dude?
I think it's really interesting, like for something that when I was younger coming in, we had the Velcro tipped darts, like from the dart tag line. That was kind of cool because you could like, if it stuck to the vest, you could be like, oh, I got you. Obviously you did. It stuck to the vest. So now it's kind of like almost that, but like 2.0. So theoretically you'll be able to see, oh, I actually did tag you. You're out. But hopefully they're calling their hits anyway, because I don't think chalk is going to like affect that. But the question that I have with those is, what's it going to do to my blasters? Like imagining like a flywheel cage or motors like full of powder.
You're going to get your flywheel cage full of powder. I mean, I already get dart dust. My concern is I use mesh goggles because I will fog regular goggles. I'm going to be getting chalk dust in the eyes. That doesn't sound fun. Or if you got hit in the lip and you took a breath in and you have asthma and now it triggers your asthma because you got a mouth full of chalk dust. These are concerns, but I assume these are meant for competition use. And they're going, you know what you're getting into. It's not like you're going to show up at Borst and at your local public war and randomly get hit with a chalk dart. It's going to be, you're going into an event that has chalk darts. You can prepare for it. You can wear a mask. You're going to have good eye pro. I assume this is going to be a controlled situation. So I'm less worried about that.
That makes sense. And then because you got that, and then I'm trying to imagine what like the price per round is. It'd probably be, cost prohibitive just enough to probably keep it out of most public games anyway. But they're interesting, from a front-loading blaster's perspective.
They're going to be raiding high school to sweep the chalk off their chalkboards. Nobody still uses chalkboards, do they? I'm an old man.
I got a chalkboard, but then just so I saw them at Toy Fest, and I got to experience and play with them. So the interesting thing is everyone assumes that it's chalk, but right now the current thing they're actually pushing is that you can actually use flour. So something as simple as flour. But the best thing is that when you buy a set of darts, and they don't have a price point yet or like how many you're going to buy. And again, it comes in short darts or the full darts. and they will have actually a applicator or loader. It's going to be a bottle that you put in flour, or I guess some kind of chalk or dust. That's an advantage. They're not selling any of the dust. It's kind of like here's the device to use it. Fill it with whatever you want. But then the
People just picking
applicator,
sand up off the ground.
well, you can, I guess.
Well, now
but
if they're using
people can
flour,
try.
now we
That's
have to
right.
worry about getting ergot poisoning in our lungs.
Well, it's not so much the dart; it's more so who you playing with. Then they're the big problem.
You're gonna be coughing up a biscuit, man.
Or filling it with pepper.
You could, but the other thing
Yes,
is,
pepper dust darts. Oh, now
So-
we're getting into biological. Now we're getting into chemical warfare. This has become a problem.
It is.
Are
But
we sure they checked and made sure that this wasn't a war crime? Like when we came out with the XM-27 or whatever. Turns out, exploding bullets have been a war crime since 1960 or
we
1860.
can go down the same vein where it's like where people use tacks for heads on darts. But anyways, my point is, it's going to come with the applicator that you can put whatever substance they recommend, flour, household flour, in it. And basically on one reload, they're assuming it's going to be about 6 or 7 hits. And so when it actually hits you, it's not actually a lot of particulate that is released. It's just enough to mark you. And again, you're right. Most people will call their darts, but there are times, though, when you're in a mid-game and you don't even realize you've been hit. And especially if you're wearing some kind of gear and it hits something that it's not like your shirt or anything, you don't know. But it leaves just enough of a mark so that you can actually tell, oh, yeah, I was hit clearly. And the thing is,
So what I'm hearing
Yeah.
is that I need to get an all-white tactical loadout.
yes, and then someone shows up and puts coloring dye in their dust and you're screwed anyways.
Well, now it's wet. It's not going to stick.
Well, yeah, you can do an all white loadout. We'll just call you the
Where am I
Angel.
supposed to find a white tack vest? Nobody makes white tack vest.
Spray paint man will make it. But here's the other thing is, while we were there, we actually ran it through the Omnia. And through the Omnia, there was no extra dust that was actually kind of, it's once it's in there, it doesn't crack open. And I'm sure at certain crushes it might. But right now, all week, they were running it through the Omnia, and it didn't gum up the Omnia at all. So they're still testing and coming it out. But obviously, these are all questions we all do have. And obviously, price point's probably going to be higher, and you'll see it more at competition. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I did. I've seen the thing, which reminds me, we're all going to Toy Fair next year, and we're going to run around like a roving gang and run amok.
That sounds fantastic.
I would go to Toy Fair with a bunch of other old men and just run amok. Like, just go from booth to booth. Back in my day, let me tell you, son, you call this Optimus Prime? I know Optimus Prime. He weren't no Peterbilt. He was a flat nose, and where's the trailer? Camaro.
This isn't a Transformer. What is this? I'm going to call this is terrible. I think right now our roving Toy Fair gang is now at myself, Captain Xavier, Maritime Foam, and now American Foam. We will be accepting applications to make our gang larger to just run amok at next year's Toy Fair.
We need to get shirts that are the grumpy old nerfers.
That's right. All right. At this point in the show, again, any last thoughts, comments? Brad?
No, this has been great. I'm jealous that Al, you got to go to Toy Fair because that seemed cool, and Cap, you got to go to Ragnarok, and that seems pretty awesome. And although I think I did go to Jared's, so that was decent in a different way. That was a good time, no matter how insane that gets. So I got my big event for the year.
So you got to meet Dr. Flux then.
Oh yeah, I got to meet Dr. Flux, Luchathor, Wi-Fi Channel, Sophie, B Lightning, amazing person.
Yep.
Drac, of course. It was a great time, and everybody there was really sweet, and it was just nice hanging out with the people that just kind of wanted to meet me, and I'm sure you could speak to that too. Just people wanting to say, "Hey, can you sign my blaster?" I'm just like, this makes the headache of getting layovers in Detroit absolutely worth it.
Yeah, getting to feel famous never gets old, man. It really
true.
doesn't. Like, can you sign my blaster? Like, I'm a celebrity. I'd love to sign your blaster.
Like, yes, I can.
All right, awesome. So again, everyone that tuned in, thank you all again for tuning in. This has been another episode of Get Off My Lawn. We will be going live again in 2 weeks, not next week, because next Wednesday is Foam Zone with Andrew Dart Sweep. The Wednesday after that, we will be back with that. We cannot officially tell you who it's going to be, but we got someone interesting as always. Tomorrow, the Forge will be released. Don't forget to sign up for the worldfoamalliance.org. Please register. New things are coming out. Brad, it was lovely having you, brother. This was so much fun. Tell us again where everyone can find you.
All right, I am American Foam on YouTube, American Foam Nerf on Instagram, and Brad the Nerd on TikTok.
Nice.
This is awesome. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for everything. Captain Xavier, as always, this is fun. Ladies and gentlemen, go forth, go Nerf, go do something, whatever. Just leave us alone, and we'll see you again next time.
Now get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Get